My name is Victoria Price. I'm the Marge Magnet Chair and a Professor of Economics at Purdue University. So in 2023, around 44 million workers quit their jobs. That's a resignation rate of around 2.4%. That's actually down from the 2.8% rate that we saw the year before, but it's still relatively high in the context of the recent years. If we want to understand what this resignation rate means for the health of the labour market, we need to think about the reasons that workers are leaving their jobs. On one hand, if workers are leaving their jobs to move out of the labour force entirely, that could indicate that the labour market is in fairly poor health. In contrast, if workers are quitting their jobs to transition or reshuffle into a new job that they prefer, that indicates a relatively healthy, strong labour market. So while the labour market may have cooled a little bit in the past few months, we're still in a situation where the number of job vacancies outnumbers the number of unemployed workers. That's to say, if every single person who was out of work yet looking for a job was actually able to find a job and move into employment, we would still have firms with vacancies looking to hire even more workers. This situation gives employees or potential workers a relatively strong bargaining position in the labour market. Indeed, if we look at the recent data, we see that workers are negotiating higher wages and in some cases more preferable working conditions, such as flexible working time arrangements. So we're seeing a lot of differences across states in their resignation rates, with particularly high resignation rates in some southern states. Of course, there are a number of factors that contribute to this pattern. One key factor is differences in industry composition across states. The tourism and hospitality sector, for example, is known for its systemically high quit rates, and therefore states which are overrepresented or highly represented in terms of the leisure and tourism industries will display, we would expect, relatively high rates of worker resignations. In contrast, the financial services sector is known for lower quit rates, and that could be contributing to the relatively low rates of resignations that we've seen in states like New York and Massachusetts. So the perspective of employees and their attitudes towards work has in some cases changed considerably since the pandemic. What we see in the data is actually some workers or groups of workers are leaving the labour force entirely. The labour force participation rate of men, that is the fraction of men who are either working or out there looking for work, has not actually recovered to its pre-pandemic level. Also, the pandemic prompted some individuals to retire earlier than they otherwise would. So overall, we're seeing some greater reluctance of individuals to actually engage in the labour market.